Streaming now at 7, family and friends and fellow police officers will say goodbye today to fallen Chicago police officer Andres Vasquez Lasso.
Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson faced off for the first time since making the runoff for Chicago mayor.
Plus, Tracy is tracking rain and snow for later today. She has the latest timing of our storm system moving closer to the area on this 9th day of March.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to be with you. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. We're going to get straight outside so you can see what's in store for you today. It's an AccuWeather alert day around here. So, Tracy, what's the deal?
The deal is this. Right now, we don't have any weather woes, but we will later on today. Rain-snow mix. It's going to begin here mid to late afternoon today. It will be changing over to all snow through the evening. I think the worst conditions or the heaviest snow is going to be coming down between about 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. with the higher totals coming in the far northern suburbs, lesser amounts city, west, and south down to the I-80 corridor. The temperatures are just going to be kind of hovering around freezing during most of the time of this event. Things are pretty quiet out there right now. Winter weather advisories are going to kick in later today. Much more on this storm in my next report. But Diane, what do you have much more on?
We've got growing travel times on expressways across the board, really. Then we do have word of a stall. This is out in the suburbs in Long Grove, Route 53 on the northbound side, just north of Lake Cook, which, if you know, that intersection is very busy. So we do have a stall in the lane and folks are stopping to get around it, and that's causing a little bit of a backup. Speaking of backups, Chopper 7 HD on the Stevenson and the Curve. You're looking at inbound traffic, and the inbound delay right now, 35 minutes to get into the city. Back to you.
Got it. Diane, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Today, loved ones and a sea of first responders will say their final goodbye to fallen Chicago police officer Andres Vasquez Lasso.
Christian Picos is live at St. Rita's on the city's southwest side. Christian.
Terrell, good morning. Lots of Chicago police officers and other first responders are now arriving here at St. Rita for the funeral service of fallen Chicago police officer Andres Vasquez Lasso. That service is expected to begin in just a few hours. Now, a visitation was held today for Vasquez at Blakeland Funeral Home in Oak Lawn, where long lines of people waited to pay their final respects to an officer who died protecting his community. Photos shared from the Chicago Police Department show a powerful moment as officers salute the casket of the 5-year veteran draped in the Chicago flag. Cook County Sheriff's deputies and the Chicago Fire Department among the many mourners there to pay their respects to the 32-year-old officer. Some in the law enforcement community traveled from Texas and Canada to be here to support this grief-stricken family and department.
No one wants to go to a police funeral, but if no one ever went, the family would stand up and see no one there. As a family nationwide, as brothers and sisters in blue, that's what we do.
It's frustrating. Chicago's lost a fantastic young officer, somebody that committed their life to the protection of the public.
Vasquez Lasso died last Wednesday after being shot at close range, chasing down an armed domestic violence suspect in Gage Park. Mayor Lori Lightfoot and other city leaders are expected to be at this morning's funeral mass that begins just 3 hours from now at 10 o'clock. Val and Terrell, back to you.
All righty, Christian Picos. Christian, thank you so much. Tonight, the Brotherhood of the Fallen will host a benefit for Officer Vasquez Lasso. It's from 6 to 11 o'clock at the IBEW Hall on South King Drive in Chicago. It will include music, food and drinks, and raffles. All the proceeds will go directly to the officer's family.
Again, the funeral for Officer Vasquez Lasso begins at 10 in the morning. We'll have coverage here on ABC7 and on our website, news app, or wherever you stream.
Want to get you an update on some breaking news right now. We know that, and sadly, a child has died in a fire in the home of a Chicago firefighter. The medical examiner's office identifies the boy as 7-year-old Ezra Stewart. The fire was near Rutherford and Wrightwood Tuesday night. That's in the Montclair neighborhood. A woman and 2 other children were critically hurt. The Chicago Fire Department confirmed that the victims are a firefighter's wife and young children. There is no word this morning on what caused that fire. When it gets to vote 2023, and Chicago's 2 mayoral runoff candidates faced off last night for the first time since last week's election. For 1 hour, they answered questions about everything from policing to education to taxes.
ABC7 political reporter Craig Wall has the big takeaways from the event.
Last night, the candidates tackled the issues with Brandon Johnson frequently on the attack, which is not surprising after the first poll of this runoff showed him trailing Paul Vallis. Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson both agreeing public safety is Chicago's #1 problem, impacting neighborhoods, public transportation, and downtown business viability, but they offer different solutions.
You make the type of leadership changes and changes in scheduling and changes of management and personnel that do not cause 1,000 police officers to leave every year.
We're going to promote, train, and hire 200 more detectives so that we can actually solve crime in the city of Chicago.
But the night was marked by Johnson's wave of attacks on the issues of abortion access, teaching black history in schools, and property taxes. Several times he accused Vallis of being a Republican.
After Barack Obama became the first black president of the United States of America, he switched parties and became a Republican.
Vallis maintained he's a lifelong Democrat and for the most part ignored the attacks, addressing the issue after the debate.
And I didn't want to turn it into a free-for-all. Plus, this is what Johnson's going to do.
Vallis did go after Johnson, a member of the Chicago Teachers Union, over the school shutdowns during the pandemic.
Brandon was in part responsible for the shutting down of one of the poorest school systems in the country with devastating consequences for 15 consecutive months.
A 100-year pandemic was responsible for everything being shut down.
With Johnson being supported by the Chicago Teachers Union and Vallis by the Fraternal Order of Police, both candidates addressing the issue of undue influence if elected.
I will no longer be a member of the Chicago Teachers Union. I will no longer pay dues to the Chicago Teachers Union.
Well, first of all, by not taking money from them, I'm not going to be beholden to anyone.
The debate coming on the heels of more endorsements announced and some significant political donations made to both candidates this week as they battle over undecided voters and those who supported other candidates in the first round. Back to you.
All right, Craig Wall reporting. Thank you. The candidates will debate on our ABC7 studios next Thursday. You can watch the People's Forum at 7 p.m. on our digital channel 7.2, as well as our streaming platforms. You can also watch it next Friday night here on ABC7 immediately following Eyewitness News at 10. It will also be rebroadcast the following Sunday at p.m.
7 past the hour this morning to the war in Ukraine, and Russia launched a huge wave of missile strikes across Ukraine earlier today, killing people while they slept.
Several civilians have been killed and a nuclear power plant was forced off the grid. ABC's Lindsay Watts is in Washington with the very latest. Lindsay.
Val and Terrell, this was the biggest Russian attack so far this year, with over 80 missiles launched. At least 9 people are dead, at least a dozen more injured, and right now Ukraine is dealing with widespread power outages.
The sun rising over a smoke-filled sky in Kyiv this morning. Overnight, Ukrainian officials reported multiple explosions from Russian missile attacks in cities across the country. This woman saying, "They are destroying our city. I go to bed and don't know if I will wake up the next day." Several people were killed and many others wounded in this latest round of Russian attacks. It comes as the fight for the city of Bakhmut continues, but Ukrainian forces are holding on. This drone operator takes cover from bombardment right outside his window, but still holds up his iPad to try and keep the signal connection. ABC's James Longman is there.
There are rumors of a Ukrainian retreat from Bakhmut, but this is the road that leads to the city. It's been very active all day, and it doesn't feel like they want to give it up anytime soon.
In Washington, Director of U.S. National Intelligence Avril Haines told the Senate Wednesday she doesn't believe Russia will make major territorial gains in Ukraine this year because it's suffering such high casualty rates. But she said Putin is playing the long game.
Putin most likely calculates that time works in his favor and that prolonging the war, including with potential pauses in the fighting, may be his best remaining pathway to eventually securing Russia's strategic interests in Ukraine, even if it takes years.
Haines says the Russian military is taking heavy casualties and dealing with personnel and ammunition shortages, exhaustion, and morale challenges.
And on the battlefield, there is currently a grinding attritional war in which neither side has a definitive military advantage.
Also this morning, Poland says it's ready to provide MiG-29 fighter jets to Ukraine. Live in Washington, Lindsay Watts, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Back here at home, members of the community gathered last night for a vigil honoring 3 family members shot to death in Bolingbrook. Amazing grace. Neighbors supported relatives of the victims, Cartez Daniel, his 9-year-old daughter, Sinai, and his fiance's daughter, 17-year-old Samaya Shelton Tillman.
Why did this happen? What kind of world are we in where it's that kind of hate that you hurt the children?
17-year-old Byriam Montgomery is charged with first-degree murder. Samaya's family says she and Montgomery had recently broken up. Samaya's mother was shot as well. She's in the hospital.
Concession stands were open at the United Center last night for day one of the Big Ten men's basketball tournament. The union representing the workers is fighting for health care and pension benefits and had said that a strike could happen at any moment. Another bargaining session is set for this Saturday with the employer, Levy.
7 more local restaurants have been added to the prestigious Michelin Guide. You'll find Greek at Avalon the Park. In Lakeshore East. Indian food at Indian in River North. Rue at Hyde Park with New Orleans food.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Sueños at Soho House has Baja Coast Mexican favorites. Also on the list, the
Hezekiah at Momotaro.
Yeah, Union and Pompette.
A Silver Lining Foundation held its Glitz and Glamour fashion show last night at the Peninsula Hotel downtown. The show raises money to provide free breast health screening in the Chicago area. Roz Varon was the MC. There's Roz right there. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on. Oh, Roz got a tan. No, there's Roz.
Ooh.
Yeah, isn't that fabulous?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and she, of course, let's wait for it. There it is.
Strutting
on that
Roz.
runway. Get it, girl. Yep.
Show them what you're working with.
I don't know if that's why she's not here this morning.
I think she already had vacation.
Oh, she already had that. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Yeah, she strutted her stuff so much last night, she couldn't make it in this morning. No, it's good for her, an incredible event.
It is, and it obviously means so much to her and our Tracy.
Yes.
All right, so a week left until St. Patrick's Day. The celebrations kick off this Saturday with the dyeing of the Chicago River. That's at 10 a.m.
Yeah, and then the annual parade steps off shortly after on Columbus Drive. You can watch the parade live starting at 12:30 right here on ABC7. Judy Stu, Larry Mowry, Liz Nagy are going to be hosting. We'll also have parade coverage on our website, news apps, and wherever you stream.
All right.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be busy.
Sure is. Live and local news just getting started this morning. We're streaming out loud. When we come back, the concerns in parts of California. More rain and snow are arriving in the region today. They can't catch a break. County officials in one area are telling residents to stock up on 2 weeks of food.
But first, here's Tracy on our AccuWeather Alert Day.
And we have rain and snow coming our way. However, it's not going to be anything like that. I'll tell you what is going to happen here coming.
Welcome back. Now to a major weather threat, a new cross-country storm. And first up, California, already buried under feet of snow. Now they're bracing for flooding rains. Here's Liz Nagy.
This morning, parts of California are bracing for another round of severe weather. Up to 8 inches of rain is now possible along California's northern coast. Monterey County officials are warning residents stock up least 2 weeks worth of essential supplies. Storms in January triggered landslides in Big Sur, closing off a major highway. In the Sierra Nevada mountains, where they're still digging out from up to 15 feet of snow, forecasters expect heavy rain and more snow in higher elevations, this time with 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Officials near Lake Tahoe have this special announcement, warning residents to shovel off their roofs before the next storm moves in.
Everybody's super worried that all this weight of the snow, once the water hits it, a lot of these roofs are going to start collapsing.
The other big concern, the combination of rain and snowmelt unleashing extreme flooding.
This storm coming in is going to be much warmer than the storms we've seen hit California the past month. It arrives in Northern California, then Southern California, flooding and rain.
In Southern California, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office says at least 12 people have now died since the recent snowstorms cut off mountain communities. Some people have now been stranded for weeks after back-to-back storms dumped 7 feet of snow in some areas.
Liz Nagy, ABC News, New York.
My goodness. I mean, they are setting snow records all over the place out west. For us, we're not going to set any records with this snow and rain that we're getting in here later today. It will be a cold rain snow that develops through the afternoon. Some of the heavier snow is going to be falling across the northern suburbs. Tomorrow morning's commute, I think, will still be sloppy. I think it will be still slushy, but the snow will be wrapping up during the commute hours tomorrow morning. Higher totals north. 1 to 3 inches of snow, quite likely here, city, west and south. So this is what we're watching. Well out to the west. Nothing close to us just yet. Winter weather advisories will clock in 3 o'clock this afternoon far west. You get to DuPage as well as Cook County and up into Lake County, and it kicks in at 6 p.m. today. So here's the futurecast, and as you can see, it does begin to allow for some saturation with some mix. Notice the temperatures are going to keep it a mix here for a bit of time. And then once we drag in some of that colder air, we will start to get that snow finally overcoming some of the pavement temperatures and start to accumulate. So we're looking at 3 to 6 inches of accumulation farther to the north. If you're in Racine and Kenosha counties, you're looking at 6+ very likely there. 38 degrees right now, the temperature out at O'Hare. It is 37 degrees Oak Lawn, 36 right now in Gary, 38 degrees in Des Plaines. And we're calling today an AccuWeather Alert Day. Really, this evening and into a few of the hours just after midnight, looks like steady snow on the way. Diane?
Starting off in Indiana, where we have a stall eastbound 8094 right past Klein Avenue. It doesn't sound like it's taking out a lane of traffic. It sounds like it is on the shoulder, but folks are still stopping to take a look at that. So it's causing just a little bit of a delay approaching that scene. Again, no huge problems there, but we'll watch for you just in case that does happen. We are seeing, though, increasing travel times across the board on our expressways and tollways here on the Illinois side. The most you're going to spend is probably about 40 minutes on all the major expressways coming into the downtown area. And we do have one stall in Lake Bluff, southbound Route 43, just south of Route 137, and that busy intersection, and that is causing a delay as folks are stopping to make their way around that. Otherwise, the tollways are looking really good as well. Val and Terrell, back to you.
All right, Diane, thank you. Still to stream this morning. Prom season is just around the corner. Up next, where students can get gowns and suits for free.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
Northwest suburban Elgin is facing some opposition over plans for its first cannabis dispensary. Our news partners at the Daily Herald report High Haven Dispensary wants to move into a strip mall on South Randall near South Street. Some nearby businesses, including a tutor center, don't want it there. The city council will have the final say on this.
Fireworks are banned in Illinois, but there's new legislation that would allow ground sparklers. Fire safety groups gathered in Springfield Wednesday to oppose the effort, calling them dangerous. They played a video showing how the ground-mounted sparklers can shower sparks for several minutes. Advocates blamed a lobbying effort for the legislation.
Listen to your public safety officials, listen to your medical experts, and don't listen to an out-of-state fireworks company that's trying to make an easy buck at the cost of our children's lives and safety. And they're just in it for the profit, and they're just in it to deceive people.
The legislation, which has already passed out of committee, would classify ground sparklers as a novelty item like handheld sparklers and smoke bombs, which are allowed.
Today, Naperville Mayor Steve Chirico will deliver his final State of the City address. Chirico plans to step down in May. He's been in office for 8 years. He'll speak at 4:30 this afternoon at Wentz Concert Hall.
Prom season is coming up.
Yep, and Tricoci University of Beauty Culture is helping kids say yes to the prom dress event today.
That's right.
The beauty school is inviting students to shop for free at all of its campuses in the city and suburbs. You can pick out the dress or suit of your dreams from 4 to 6.
That's really nice.
Isn't it nice?
Free, and those dresses look nice.
They look really beautiful and colorful. Yeah. All right, we're going to link up with everybody that's watching Good Morning America right now. Tanya Babbage will have a news update on TV. You'll see it here too in just a bit.
And then when we come back, we'll have more on an effort to preserve structures here in Chicago. The list is out of the Windy City's most endangered buildings.
That's a good one.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:23. I'm Tanya Babbage. Fallen Chicago police officer Andres Vasquez Lasso will be laid to rest today. Preparations are underway at St. Rita's on the city's southwest side. A visitation was held last night at the Blake Lamb Funeral Home in Oak Lawn. Long lines of people waited to pay their final respects. A photo shared from the Chicago Police Department shows officers saluting the casket of the 5-year veteran draped in the Chicago flag. Vasquez Lasso died last Wednesday after being shot in Gage Park. The funeral begins at 10 o'clock this morning. We will have live coverage of the service here on ABC7, on our website, news app, or wherever you stream. Let's get a check of the ABC7 AccuWeather forecast now. Here's meteorologist Tracy Butler.
Thank you, Tanya. Well, good morning, everybody. Our morning commute unaffected by weather conditions, but later on today, between 2 and 5 p.m., we will start to get a rain-snow mix. And then I think some of the worst conditions or the heavier snows will be falling between about 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. Right now, things are pretty quiet around the area. It's just cloudy. Winter weather advisories will be kicking in, at least here in Chicago, at 6 p.m. Temperatures right now are still near 40 degrees. We'll take a break, Diane, after this.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Welcome back, everybody. What started off as a pretty busy morning has quieted down just a little bit. Yes, we are seeing travel times on the rise this morning, but they're in the pretty typical spots on all the major expressways, about 40 minutes, 40 to 45 to get in on all the major expressways. So let's go ahead and check some of the cameras and show you what it looks like out there on the tollways. This is the Jane Addams. It looks really good. No major problems on, in fact, any of the tollways. We come on in on the Kennedy. The express lanes are open inbound. It's less than a 40-minute trip from O'Hare to downtown. And on the south, we go over to the Ryan, where everything is looking really good. This is right around 35th. We see the delays coming inbound. Enjoy your morning.
Let's go outside this morning, take a look. Beautiful buildings in our skyline. Of course, the architecture of this city is bar none.
Right?
Right? I mean, just a world-class city when it comes to architecture. And Preservation Chicago has announced its list of the 7 most endangered buildings across the city. They include Taft Hall at the University of Illinois, Chicago. Last October, UIC announced plans to renovate the building, which include demolishing its facade. Also, the Warehouse, a popular nightclub in the late 1970s, known as one of the best places in the city to hear music. Others on the list, the Jeffrey Theater down in South Shore, and Spencer Arms Hotel, also down there. Warner Brothers Storage on North Paulina, and the Century and Consumers buildings right down the street from us on State Street. Missed that. Can we scroll? Never mind. Forget it. So there's the list of buildings right there on the screen.
Most endangered list.
Yeah.
What do you do to get them off of that most endangered list?
And that's the point of the whole thing is getting us to talk about it. And I did some reading on it last night, and all kinds of stories behind these buildings and why they're still there and why we should be preserving them. So it's interesting to see. We'll see the fate of these 2 buildings. I've got a story to tell you.
Oh, I smell an ABC7 exclusive. Oh, drama.
It's some drama. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, real quick. Okay, 30 seconds. All right. So
I got time.
So the 2 buildings right down the street, skyscrapers, right? I mean, in terms of the history of skyscrapers in this city, these are 2 monuments.
Okay.
Right across the street from the Dirksen Federal Building.
Okay.
So the federal judges are like, hey, look, you can't have this historic skyscraper right across from us. So this building is threatened with demolition because of the Dirksen Federal Building being right next door. So we'll see who wins that battle.
Yeah.
$50 million that the federal government has already set aside to demolish those 2 buildings. So
they have to figure something out.
Yeah, there has to be.
They have to coexist.
I agree. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Coming up this morning, day 2 of the Big Ten tournament at the United Center. An update on concession workers hoping for a contract.
Plus, the huge show of support ahead of today's funeral for fallen Chicago police officer Andres Vasquez Lasso. Update on today's top stories in 90 seconds.
You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7. Streaming live now.
Bottom of the hour, let's get a look at some of the top stories that we're watching for you right now. The funeral will be held today for Chicago police officer Andres Vasquez Lasso. He was shot and killed last week while responding to a domestic violence call in Gage Park. Yesterday, local police and law enforcement officers from around the country went to his visitation in Oak Lawn. Today's funeral begins at 10 o'clock this morning.
Last night, Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson faced off in a forum for the first time since making the runoff for Chicago mayor. The candidates will next meet in our ABC7 studios next Thursday. The mayoral runoff election is April 4.
Day 2 of the Big Ten tournament at the United Center. So far, no labor action by concession workers who remain without a contract.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Val Warner. Ooh.
Sexy, right?
Yes, like very newsman. Or
I don't know how I got to take these off. How in the world?
Because when you get over 40, things, tell them, y'all, tell them when you get over 40, you think, right, Frank, Mike, am I right? Like, you just can't see anymore. So then this makes everything, but I don't need it for that. So there you go.
I think Tracy's got a pair too, actually.
Listen, you need these to see the weather or not see the weather. You don't want to really see the weather.
Yeah, take them off if you want to ignore what's going to happen around here. Oh, yeah, I love my glasses, that's for sure. Hey, this morning, yeah, we're not going to see a lot of blue sky today, but no weather worries for us here this morning. Now, as we go through the evening commute, and really starting mid to late afternoon, conditions are going to get worse. And we're going to start with a rain-snow mix, however, and primarily those of you in the northern suburbs, mainly snow. Friday morning, the snow is going to be winding down. It's just going to be this residual mess, slushy and sloppy into tomorrow morning. Precipitation begins here, far western suburbs, as you can see. Mid, we get later afternoon as it gets toward the city. Well, right now we have temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, very conducive for a cold rain across the area. And that is how we're going to start things off with this precipitation coming our way. Diane, what do you have to report now?
We're definitely in the thick of it now, Tracy. We're seeing travel times definitely on the rise this morning on all of the major expressways. So it's going to take you at least 45 minutes to get into the city from the Eisenhower, for example, the Kennedy, the Stevenson. We do have this crash. It's on the exit ramp on the northbound side of I-355 near Archer. It sounds like it may be the Archer exit ramp. We're still trying to get clarification on that. It doesn't sound like it's affecting the main line so much, but we'll keep an eye. I tried to look on the cameras. I didn't find anything, but I'll go back and look and make sure just in case I missed anything. So we do have this crash in Ivanhoe over in Lake County. It's Route 176 and Route 60. Authorities are there on the scene. Back to you.
All right, Diane, thank you. Now to today's talkers. We're counting down to the Oscars this weekend, and some of the performers seem like sure things to get the gold.
Jose Sanders checks out some nominees who may be long shots, but we do like shockers on the big night, and maybe from the king of rock and roll.
Tomorrow, all of America will be talking about Elvis Presley.
Where's it done up to move around so much during the tape?
Kids who are coming up and saying that the movie has inspired them to play the guitar, or with older women who have seen Elvis in concert and how they're moved by it.
Butler, not the front runner, but his performance is a showstopper with some wins this season.
Elvis Presley himself, you were an icon and a rebel, and I love you so much.
Now, if I've done something to you, just tell me what I've done to you.
Well, you didn't do anything to me. I just don't like you no more.
You didn't like me yesterday.
I love you so much. To get to cohabitate this creative space with you every day. All I did when I came to work every day was aspire to be your equal.
Colin Farrell won the Golden Globe. He and real-life pal Brendan Gleeson are both nominated for the Banshees of Inisherin, but in different categories.
I'm a fan of films all my life. I'm an actor since 19 or 20. And so to see people whose work you've leaned into and whose work you've been moved by, that's the commonality.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is moving full speed ahead to sweep a lot of categories, no longer the underdog.
One of the things we hear often is, this is the first time I feel represented by a movie. And obviously they're the... Hey! Obviously it's because of this guy. Yeah, no, look.
I love these two guys. Oh. They changed my life.
I think everything I've done up to this point has made me ready to finally be honest about the fact that it's not easy to be a kid.
But don't count out Steven Spielberg telling his life story in The Fabelmans.
What was your favorite part?
You know, Hollywood loves movies about movies. And Steven Spielberg does that in a magical and really personal way with The Fabelmans. So voters may want to reward the so-called old guard in at least one category. And for a lot of folks, it just does not get any more Hollywood than Steven Spielberg. Sanders, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
I know. That sounds good. A lot of these movies. Have you guys seen these movies? I haven't seen a bunch of them. I haven't even seen that one.
Which one have you seen?
Top Gun.
Oh, Top Gun.
Yeah.
Maverick.
Did you say Fabelmans?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that one yet either. Yeah.
No, I'm behind too.
Right. So we'll see who wins, and then we'll go back and watch those movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. And here's the lineup for Oscar Sunday on ABC7. Tune in for a special edition of Eyewitness News airing early at 4 p.m. Then it's on the red carpet and the Oscar pre-show. The Academy Awards start at 7. Then stay tuned for Eyewitness News at 10. Do those have a hard out? It's not like they run over and possibly the news will go on late, will it?
I think it will.
There's a hard out?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like it's gone on for hours.
Oh, it has.
At some point or another.
Yeah, and we're going on the news at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. All right. Well, next to big news from Jenny from the block.
Yeah, J-Lo has announced that she's set to release her 9th studio album sometime this summer.
The upcoming album, This Is Me Now, coming out this summer. Yes, you heard it here first. I'm super excited.
Man, she does not age, I'm telling you. The upcoming album, This Is Me Now, will be the follow-up to her 3rd studio album, This Is Me Then.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh. This is me now.
Oh,
whoa.
Me too.
That's what you look like right now, isn't it, Val?
I won't in my head. Who doesn't want to look like J-Lo?
That's right. So this morning, as of now, no release date has been set for this. Man.
This Is Me Now. So do you feel like Bennifer 2.0 has something to do with This Is Her Now?
Oh, heck yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
You know, new marriage, new life, even though it's a marriage from the well, it's not a marriage from the past.
They didn't never get married the first time.
Yeah, relationship, right. Did they get married? Were they married?
No, they were
engaged. Okay, got it. Yeah. It's going to be good. Anybody else that you guys are hoping to hear from?
Well, mine is the person we're going to talk about next, so I don't want to say it before we guys get to it.
Who is that? Actually, don't.
It's the next story.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, are we just going to run into it? Okay.
We're going to let you
see the
read
name?
it.
You see the name?
Yeah.
You see the name?
Mm-hmm. That's who you want to see?
I love her.
Yeah.
I think like everybody that whenever I'm on the streaming show, I always somehow, some way slip in Miss
Dude, Janet Jackson. Miss Jackson.
I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So Janet Jackson will be back on TV screens.
Look at her.
Yep,
Those cheekbones.
A&E Networks say a new documentary is in the works. Janet Jackson, Family First, will chronicle her life and her career, but also embarks on her tour this year in efforts to reunite the family band. Didn't even know that was happening.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the networks say that her first documentary success is the reason for the decision to bring it back, do another one, and a release date on this also has not been announced.
That's huge news.
I didn't know they were trying to get it all back together. That'd be great, right?
That would be great.
Is this a no-brainer, the question I'm about to ask you?
What's that?
Who's the bigger star, J-Lo or Janet?
Oh, you know what? It's not a no-brainer.
Is that debate? Is that like kind of like the Michael Jordan, LeBron thing?
I think that
depending
depends on who you ask.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's a no-brainer.
Well, who do you think that is?
I love
you
Janet.
love Janet Jackson.
I would have to go with Janet Jackson too.
I would have to also say.
Do we have to make a decision?
No.
Yeah,
it's actually hard. Now that I think about it.
You know, we butted those stories together, so it got me to thinking like man.
Okay, so let's say pretend like Janet put out a new record the same day J-Lo put out a new record.
Yeah.
Are you going to get both? Are you getting one over the other? Like, are you absolutely getting one?
I get both. And then in terms of like ranking them, I mean, they've both done what? Have they both done Super Bowls? They've both.
Yeah, they both had illustrious careers.
Janet's Super Bowl.
You know what? I think the thing that puts Janet over the top is her family.
Is Michael, right?
Yeah, like her connection. Like she's part of the Jackson family.
The legend. The legend.
Yeah, so that you know, boosts her up a little bit more. Maybe just edges her out over J-Lo just a little bit. I don't know. You guys let us know what you think.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it be some pillow talk. Pillow talk? Or, oh, wow, talk about a flashback in this studio. I was going to say water cooler talk. But I don't know, talk about it with your boo when you go to bed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a good one. All right, Eyewitness News streaming out loud this morning. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more in 90 seconds.
Good morning to you. We're clouded over this morning. This is what is working its way towards Chicago today. So we have winter weather advisories that clock in 3 o'clock this afternoon far west, 6 p.m. here today, DuPage County as well as central northern Cook up to Lake County and run into tomorrow morning. So here we go. Walk this afternoon. I think most are still going to have fairly quiet weather conditions at that time, but after about 2, 3 o'clock, things start to deteriorate as we go into the evening hours. We're going to start with just a sloppy, slushy mix. It will transition to all snow eventually. And how much are we talking about? Well, you can see the higher totals the farther north you do go. Here in Chicago, will be anywhere between about 1 and 3 inches of snow. It's going to depend on how much of this remains rain. Farther to the south, I think you'll have very little snow accumulation. Right now, 38 degrees, cloudy skies out there. Diane?
Starting with a metro delay this morning, Union Pacific North Line train inbound number 308. It's running about 17 to 22 minutes late because of some dispatching issues. Taking a look at the big picture, and you can see how much color is on this map, indicating how much traffic is really out there. About a 45 to 50 minute drive coming in on the Kennedy, on the Eisenhower, on the Stevenson, not so much on the Ryan. That's about a 35-minute trip coming in from, for example, I-57 or the Bishop Fort. Just some crashes. Mundelein Route 60 and Route 176. We have a crash there. Then we have a stall out in Bartlett, Route 59 and Stearns Road. Back to you.
Diane, thank you so much. When we come back, the Trinity Irish dancers are in the studio getting ready for St. Patrick's Day celebrations.
They're live spreading Irish cheer in 90 seconds. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are counting down the days until St. Patrick's Day this weekend.
Chicago celebration kicks off this weekend. The mini events planned include performances from the Trinity Irish Dancers of Chicago. They'll be making the rounds to dozens of schools, businesses, and events this Saturday and Sunday.
And we are joined by a rep from the dance company this morning. We have Mackenzie Holland. Good morning to you, Mackenzie.
Good morning.
Hey. Thanks for being here. It's a delight for us.
Yeah, we're so excited.
So let's talk about what we're going to be in store for this weekend, because I know you guys have been rehearsing. This is your big weekend. What are the plans?
Yeah, we are all over the place, Chicago and the surrounding suburbs, but obviously the downtown parade, Northwest Side Parade, Palatine Parade, everywhere. Every big Irish party.
How many dancers do you have?
Oh, we have about 500 to 600 dancers in Illinois and Wisconsin that'll be performing this season.
That is awesome.
So they can divide and conquer.
Exactly.
Yes,
that's how we have. How many are here this morning with us?
We have almost 10 this morning.
Yeah. So what's it like to be a Trinity Irish dancer?
Oh, it's so much fun. These kids, they put a lot of work in. They work all the time, but they have a great balance of competition, performance, and team dancing. So they're really well-rounded dancers and kids, and it's just a wonderful experience for them,
All right. Well, we are in store for a treat, Mackenzie. We're going to let you go off and get ready to do your thing. We're going to step out of the way, too. The dancers will be putting on several shows this weekend. Take a look at your screen right now. On Saturday, you can catch the group at the Palatine Parade at 11 in the morning, and they will be in Chicago around 12:30 that afternoon. Then Sunday, you can watch the dancers on the Northwest Side Street at noon.
Yep, so here they are. Everybody give it up, the Trinity Irish Dancers. Amazing.
Are fantastic. Wow. All in unison. I mean, like, this is so impressive.
I don't know how you do it. I really don't.
And hands by your side.
Are you guys allowed to relax now, or do you have to? Oh, you have to stay that way, right?
Yeah,
okay,
They
right.
can't break forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
It's
Well, I tell you
amazing.
what, we're going to toss the break because we're going to give them a chance to take a break. We'll be right back.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
All right. Welcome back. Most know the term porch pirate, right? Well, that's somebody who steals stuff from your porch.
Yeah, but this time we are blaming the pooch pirate. A security camera recorded the whole thing. A dog in the Texas city of Shallow Water comes up onto the porch and before long walks away with a package that had been delivered. Look at him go
And
to
an
tail.
Amazon package,
Look, tail in the air. He knew exactly what he was doing. The homeowners thought that the strong winds blew it away. Look at that. Look at that. But there is video evidence that that's not the case at all, and they are still searching for that cute suspect right there.
It said it was $25 worth of makeup in that envelope. So
I wonder if he smelled like the fuminess of the makeup.
Something, yeah.
Those are some smart dogs.
Maybe he was just going drag.
Maybe he wanted a little bit of a touch up, some blush.
Oh my God. I mean, but like an Amazon, that doesn't even taste good, right?
Right. What he was going to do.
Dogs don't care.
Right. Take it and chew it. Yep.
Too cute. All right. Well, spring is so close. You can almost taste it. Actually, on March 20th, you can taste it thanks to Dairy Queen. The company says participating locations will serve free ice cream cones on that day as part of a nationwide celebration of the first day of spring. The promotion calls for customers to get one free small vanilla soft serve cone, complete with the little curl on the top. This, of course, while supplies last. And this means don't go in there asking for a pecan cluster blizzard with extra toffee and extra pecans.
So let me throw this at you. How many of you are ice cream all year long?
Not me.
Thank you.
Only in the summer.
I'll spaghetti all year. Too.
I'm saying dairy free.
Oh, dairy free. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like, could you eat it when it's cold out?
Nope.
No.
Yep. My daughter can.
Oh, can she?
Yeah, but I cannot.
Yeah, I could do it.
Associated with more.
A hot piece of apple pie with ice
With
cream.
ice cream on top, like a la mode.
I might do that.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
Or peach cobbler.
Ooh, yeah. I like hot desserts.
Me too. Me too. You like those cookie desserts with that?
Yeah. Yep. I like that too.
Yeah.
Or a brownie.
Baked fruit.
Oh, a brownie
Oh,
with
that's
nuts.
right.
You don't like fruit?
No.
Oh my God, I don't either.
What?
I don't
And you
either.
guys both eat ice cream all year round.
Yes.
And you don't like baked
I
fruit.
love you.
So you like apple pie, cherry pie?
I mean,
key
here's
lime
the thing.
pie?
Here's the thing. I like I'll have it. It's
not your
fine. I'll
choice.
have it. But there's nothing like a pumpkin pie. There's nothing like a French silk. Like you can't compare
cream pie.
chocolate cream pie. Like I'm not gonna have a fruit pie over a chocolate pie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh.
What do you think?
I like some fruit pies. I love peach cobbler.
Like do you like cherry pie?
No.
No. See?
Yeah.
Blueberry pie?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll eat all of it. Just give it to me. Just let me eat it, right?
I'm trying to think my favorite pie would, I guess it would have to be pecan pie. It's my favorite.
Yes, me too.
Really,
Yes.
really.
But see,
me
I
too.
love pecans. I
Me
like
too.
anything. I like pecans on my salad.
Me too. Me
I like it
too.
on my ice cream. I like it
Same.
on desserts. I like it on a piece of salmon.
Same.
I mean, I just
Same.
love pecans.
Same.
Sweet potato's really good too.
Speaking of something cold, we do have some weather coming our way. Yeah, it's 37 degrees right now at O'Hare. It is cloudy skies out there. Wind chills are in the upper 20s, but a rain-snow combination platter coming our way here mid to late afternoon. Through the evening, it will become all snow, kind of steady. And this is going to be the heavy, wet snow. So I want to caution anybody who wants to get out there with their snow shovel. Really be very careful. You got to bend at the knees. You know, lift.
heavy
This could
stuff.
hurt the old back.
Watch your back. Yeah.
Watch your back.
Or get
What
the
about
kid in the neighborhood.
berry ice cream?
No,
That doesn't sound good either.
definitely
I'm
not.
done.
We're hungry.
Right.
Can you tell? For Tracy and Diane, I'm Val Warner.
And I'm Terrell Brown. Thank you so much for watching this morning. Tanya Babbage will have a news update. There will be weather. There'll be weather and traffic. GMA continues. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a
This has been Eyewitness News, streaming at 7. Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:56. I'm Tanya Babbage. Updating breaking news. A child has died after a fire in the home of a Chicago firefighter. The medical examiner's office identifies the boy as 7-year-old Ezra Stewart. The fire was near Rutherford and Wrightwood Tuesday night. That's in the Montclair neighborhood. A woman and 2 other children were critically hurt. The Chicago Fire Department confirmed that the victims are a firefighter's wife and young children. There's no word on what caused the fire. We'll check on weather and traffic up next.
Well, good morning to you. We'll give you an idea of when we're expecting to see precipitation beginning in the area. So the heart of the area 3 to 6 p.m. over in northwest Indiana. You'll get a later start with initially what's going to be rain, then a rain-snow mix, and then eventually all snow. Right now, 37 at O'Hare, 37 degrees at Midway, 36 degrees in Whiting, Indiana. Some wind chills this morning are still in the upper 20s. We have a slushy, sloppy mix coming our way mid to late afternoon. That will continue to evolve as snow this evening. Diane?
High travel times across the board for us this morning on all of the major expressways. Taking a look at the Dan Ryan, this is a live picture from right around 35th, and you can see the inbound traffic just crunching up there, getting into the city. Let's go outside and tell you what's going on other than on the expressways. This is a malfunctioning train gates over in Wadsworth. It's Route 173 just east of US 41. Then we do have one crash we're still watching. It's in Mundelein. I told you about this in my last live report. Route 16176. It's still there, and authorities are with it. Hopefully they'll get this thing cleaned up very soon. Have a good morning.